You know that feeling when you finish a puzzle and instead of satisfaction, there's just nothing. That hollow click when the last piece drops and you realize the picture wasn't worth assembling. But now imagine that puzzle was your career, your identity, the thing you spent a decade learning to do better than anyone, and you just taught a machine to do it in an afternoon. It's 2054. In a world where AI thinks for us, robots build for us, and clean fusion energy powers everything, human labor has become largely unnecessary. Food, housing, healthcare, education, all guaranteed, like tap water. Always on, no bill, no means test. Most people haven't paid a bill in years. You can retire around 24, after a few years of civic service, learning how civilization's infrastructure actually works. After that, your basics are covered for life. Priya Chandrasekaran was a coder, a great one. For 10 years, she wrote the algorithms that kept her city's library system running. The cataloging, the resource routing, the patron recommendations. Then last Tuesday, she wrote one final script. 90% of life is handled by the foundation, that universal infrastructure of abundance.
But the remaining 10%? That's the ascent, where people push themselves because they want to, not because they have to.
Where you earn access to scarce things through genuine contribution. Priya had always lived in that 10%, and now she'd automated herself out of it. That same week, the library's last human archivist, a man named Oren, who'd spent 50 years mastering the art of physical book preservation, retired.
He was the last person alive who could identify a book's age by the smell of its binding glue.
The AI could catalog faster, but Oren could hold a crumbling volume and tell you what it meant to the person who shelved it a century ago. Priya found the drawing tucked inside a returned book. A child's crayon house, wobbly roof, yellow sun, stick figures holding hands. On the back, in a kid's handwriting, for the library lady who helped me find the dog book. It wasn't addressed to her. It was addressed to a librarian who'd retired 30 years ago. But the drawing had been circulating through the system ever since. Shelved, reshelved, passed along. The algorithm kept flagging it as misplaced. Humans kept choosing to leave it. And that's when Priya understood something. Her trust ledger, the transparent public record of her contributions, showed 10 years of flawless code. Verified, permanent, impressive. But the drawing wasn't on any ledger. It was just a thing humans kept doing. Choosing the inefficient, irrational, beautiful thing.
So Priya did something her algorithm would never recommend.
She proposed a new role for herself, not coding, not optimizing. She'd become the library's first human curator of accidents. Her job? To find the things the system kept trying to discard. The misplaced drawings, the handwritten margin notes, the dog-eared pages that meant someone had been changed by what they read. She'd preserve the fingerprints that proved people were here. The Diversity Guard, those independent counsels from radically different backgrounds who verify contributions, didn't know what to make of it at first. A psychologist in Lagos noted that communities with accident curators showed measurably higher trust. A historian in Reykjavik connected it to how medieval monks preserved margin doodles that turned out to be priceless. Here's what Priya figured out, the thing the algorithm couldn't. Transparency is terrifying when everything you do is measured, logged, verified. The fear underneath is real, that when every contribution is visible, there's nowhere to hide your doubts, your messes, your weird little choices that don't optimize for anything. But a community isn't built from perfect data. It's built from the things people choose to keep, even when no one asks them to.
What do you owe a community you didn't choose?
Maybe nothing. Or maybe the smallest thing. The choice to notice what matters before it disappears. To be the person who keeps the drawing in the book. That's the world unscarcity imagines. Not a place where machines solve everything. A place where they solve enough that you finally get to ask, what's worth keeping?
If Priya's world sounds impossible, the math says otherwise. The AI at unscarcity.ai can walk you through it.